Bill Wilson came back from Europe right at the time when Prohibition got enacted as law, and apparently it did absolutely nothing to slow down his drinking. And we do know that he did go to law school after he got out of the Army. It's not clear whether or not he graduated, but he was determined that he was going to rise to the top and be the #1 man. And he very quickly decided that becoming a stockbroker was the fastest way to do that, and believed that Abby Thatcher was able to get him a job with a Wall Street stockbroker firm. But Bill Wilson actually was a rocket to stardom when it came to becoming a stockbroker, and apparently he invented what we now call the growth strategy of investment, where you go searching for companies that have tremendous growth potential. And he persuaded some people to give him some money to finance him to go out and investigate around the country. And apparently he was very, very successful at it. He had a knack for adapting himself. He was almost like a chameleon, that he was able to kind of adapt who he was to fit whatever environment he was in. And from what we know, he would basically go around to various bars where people would work for different companies, and he would just automatically adapt. He was a real outgoing, glad-handing kind of guy. And he would sit there, he would go into these bars and pump these guys for information, which he would funnel back to the Wall Street firms. Was very, very successful, made an awful lot of money for an awful lot of people during the 1920s. However, his drinking was very clear early on that his drinking was turning into a problem. He got into several altercations. I don't think he actually got arrested for it. Fortunately for him, most of his drinking was at a country club where his brother-in-law was considered a prominent member. So a lot of these scrapes and scuffles and arguments he got into, his brother-in-law, fortunately for him, was able to smooth a lot of things over. And also, he would from time to time be sent to try to detox. He would be taken to the town's hospital to detox, and fortunately for him, his brother-in-law would pay the bill every single time, and they knew that his brother-in-law would pay the bill every single time. A lot of people overlooked Bill Wilson's problems with alcohol because, frankly, he was making so much money for everybody as the market was going up. But as we now know, I'm not an expert on stock investing, but what I'm told is that when you employ the growth strategy, you make an awful lot of money when the market's going up, but then when the market turns down, you lose an awful lot of money. And that was what would happen to Bill Wilson.